All right, welcome back. So if you just watched the other video, I gave a somewhat hacked explanation of how the regrouping phases work for this particular game, for the Forgotten Battles. And I wanted to now try and touch on what I'm planning on doing for the offensive fronts. So we've got quite a number of units, and our front starts from here and runs down to here for Second Belarus. And then we've got, let me just move the camera. Then we've got from, there's a couple here, from here to here, much more narrow front for First Belarus Front. This particular front, First Front, is on its fifth turn of offensive operations. Sorry, no, sixth turn of offensive operations. And the purple guys are, Second Bello, are on their fifth turn of offensive operations. They can have a maximum of 9, I believe. And then on the 10th turn, they've got to start doing the regroup. You've got to do a minimum of 3. And as I mentioned in the other video, you'll also receive some benefits from being in this offensive mode. But nevertheless, that's the game function for these fronts. So for First Bello here, I'm pretty interested in trying to continue to expand on the penetration that it seems like the Soviets have had here. Let's zoom in a little bit there. Looks like they've got, this is a pretty thin line. There are some gaps and there are issues all over the place for them here. But the Germans do have 4th Panzer and 5th Panzer situated so that they might be able to help block the gaps that are going to occur. There's a single artillery unit behind the river line here in the Dnieper River. And that is obviously a key point that I think the Soviets will probably attempt to focus on. And we've also got some partisans in the background there that are going to start locking up the blocking supply and transit through the area and stuff like that in the first couple of turns. So some interesting opportunities here. This is a little bit more traditional. If we look at Second Belarus, we'll see that it's a long, thin line. There's a river line behind these counters that we can't really see, but there's not a lot of force here to look to try and punch in or through the defensive line of the Germans here, even though we do have first tank just top frame there. And there's another formation here. We've got some interesting guard units situated around Zibakov, I think is how we might say that, or near enough anyway. Though between those units and first tank, maybe there's an opportunity to make a breakthrough here somewhere. I'm going to have a look at the lines for both sides. Maybe that the focus really does end up here, coming into the marshes and looking to try and cut off this railway line here if we can, and then dive further north and head up towards Boburusk, to the just at the top in that glare right there, and that might be something that's worth trying. Or maybe we try and meander our way through the marshes and along this rail line and along these minor roads here, and use the partisan track capability that allows us to create roads, or trails I should say, through the marshes, and get around and surprise the Germans in the rear in some way, shape, or form. There's 2 VPs that are positioned in the back there. Plus, as I mentioned, Boburusk here will also present us with potential for 3 VPs, and then the 4th one here with Gomel that would help us quite well along the way. And we may not have to go through the pain and difficulty of trying to capture Minsk, which is all the way up there near where that white meeple is. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I'm going to start moving forces in these two offensive fronts here, right in front of us, and we'll see what happens, and then we'll come and go through the full cycle of a game turn in just a little bit. Talk to you guys soon. Roll dice.